But let's get into this MJF breaking Kenny Omega streak. Now I don't know if people been following along of being the elite. MJF been teasing Kenny for a while about him about to break his record. So when the situation happened this past Wednesday, when he approached him, it was like 3 days, motherfucker. He's been saying this to Kenny the entire time.
He definitely didn't say motherfucker. He said bitch, but
yeah, that.
Whatever.
But that's what MJF been saying to Kenny on being elite. Yeah, along the way to breaking his record.
Not only on I haven't, I don't watch Being the Elite, but he said that to him the previous week when he said 13 days, bitch.
Yeah, so it's been a thing. Like he'll act nice to his face and bring him in close, so Young Bucks never hear it. So it's been a good bit, and it was dope seeing him bring that to the TV side. And I don't know, we could talk about this a little bit. Eventually we're gonna talk about this, but I know we've been talking about how the numbers been down in terms, especially for Collision. That match helped the numbers go up because you got to put the proper matches on screen, and those two had a great match.
Well, I guess we can like kind of put everything together. Not only that you need the matches to coexist, so to bring people in, but the fact that you had this not ridiculous sale, but you had the sale of tickets. So I mean, if I can get something, buy two and get one free, whatever the sale was, yeah, I'm gonna definitely like we definitely out. Definitely gonna. I'm sorry.
I think that was for this show.
Yeah, it was for the show. What's his name? Mentioned that the ticket sales for this show for Collision was for that.
You talking about like Paul White? Sale.
Paul White? What do you mean Paul White?
Who mentioned this sale too?
You know the name that we don't mention around here, but he,
Nah, I thought that was for when I saw the video of it first.
All right, well that's not necessarily important, but going back to what you said, it's like, yeah, you have to have the interest there. And this is I told you earlier, I'm like, yo, this is fire. I've been telling you this for years, and it might be blasphemous. I've never been the biggest Kenny Omega fan. Yeah, look at that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
you ain't never seen WWE like that. I mean,
yes, you have. What are you talking about?
I'm lying. That's why I said I'm lying. Look at you. Calm down, fanboy.
No, it's not about being a fanboy. That was a wild statement.
No, it's not a wild statement.
It is.
But it looks crazy in a smaller venue.
All right.
Like that's crazy. Especially when you decide a big signing like Adam Copeland. That's crazy.
All right, but here's the thing. Like I told you before, the 2-for-1 sale, everybody done it. We've seen WWE do to sell tickets, right? When it comes to
I'm not disputing that.
Huh?
I'm not disputing that.
Right. So in this case right now, when we're looking at for people that's listening, we're watching one of the pictures that was floating around where Hardcam is empty and Adam Copeland is speaking to the crowd. I'm pretty sure y'all familiar with that picture. It's just like when it was going on with WWE, right? When we discussed this before in like past shows, I don't know, whatever episode, season, whatever. Certain markets just doesn't sell. It doesn't happen. Like no matter what you do, it's not gonna sell. There's certain markets that you touch, it shouldn't, right? Because the following week they have a sellout crowd, and I've seen pictures of that as well.
But this is the thing. This has been going on since earlier in this year. It's been noted that ticket sales have been great internationally, but somehow domestically, and this is not even like random markets. It's just in general, they haven't been necessarily selling like they should. And now it begs the question: outside of the market that they're performing at or performing in, is this a good quality content that they're putting out? And actually, I told you, yeah, you can respond in a second. I told you last week when I was like, oh, not last week, the week before, and I was like, okay, I'll do my best to live tweet Dynamite because you said you were going to be busy. And I was like, yo, that was hard. Have they consistently been putting out dope quality matches, product? Last week, it was a really good episode. Christian cooking Sting, Flair, and Darby. I was like, oh, he ate them up.
Yo, he's a beast.
MJF and Kenny going at it with each other. After MJF's match against Juice Robinson, and in the I'm a big fan of the Acclaim, so them coming out, that was hot, that was dope. But then you have your moments where it's just, and I get it, every product is going to have that. So this is not strictly let's bash AEW, but there's some moments where it's just like, all right, what are we doing? I.e., and we'll talk about this later, Tony Storm. I don't agree with what they're doing with the women's division. And it's like, how much longer is it that we have to keep giving them a pass? It's not good.
All right. Yes, they're putting out the product that brings people to the crowd. Now, here's the thing. This is where I'll admit that we've talked about this with AEW. People keep saying Halloween, give them a pass. We gave WWE a pass for like almost 20 years before they got things right. Let's keep it 100, right? So,
but we're not talking about WWE right now.
I know we're talking about AEW, but my point still stands is that they're still figuring out whatever kinks they need to figure out.
How long do you have to figure it out, man? Like, be for real.
We gave WWE 20 years. You can give them 10. It's only been 5.
On. What do you mean we gave WWE 20 years? WWE, granted, they had hot periods. They've had their cold periods. They've had their hot periods, the cold periods. But this is like they've been in 5 years.
It's been hot and cold periods, right? So here's my thing. Let me finish the response.
Go ahead.
The reason why I think will help, and people have said this on other platforms, like the names we don't mention and stuff like that. What will help their ticket sales is what they did when they do big promotions, when they send their wrestlers out events, like how they did with Ash Stadium, right? When they came to New York, they had people go to Mets games, going to Good Morning America with the title, and this and that and the third. Send MJF out there, send Kenny Omega out there. You have to do this with every market. You can't just pick and choose when you want to do it, because when you do that, you get results. You can't just bank on putting the card out a week before and then expect, because like with Collision, right? They were selling tickets, but it wasn't selling, right? The moment they announced that, the week of, when they announced that it's going to be Kenny Omega versus MJF at Collision, they sold 1,000 tickets in that week, right?
Okay.
And then 3 hours before the show started, they sold 3,000 more tickets. So imagine if you promoted this a week advance. You know what I mean?
That's the difference, because you're mentioning names that we won't mention on here that has said you have to go out and promote. And yes, in every aspect of you owning a business, you should promote in general. But it goes back to what you said in regards to market. At Arthur Ashe Stadium for Grand Slam, it was going to sell regardless. People were going to be there regardless. So it goes past that. It's what you just said. MJF versus Kenny Omega break and the idea of breaking his record.
Right.
Is he going to do it? Is he not going to do it? That's like, oh, yo, I want to see that. And, everyone loves MJF. And this, like, tweener face thing, I didn't know how he was going to pull it off, but
he's doing very well.
I love it. I love it.
And you know the hint of it is? The hint of it is him trying to find a friend, and he can't find a friend since Adam Cole has left. So he's like when Samoa Joe walked into him, like, Samoa Joe like, I'll be a friend. He's like, all right, great. Like,
great.
Like,
you don't gotta tell me
if you give me a title shot, so now he's got to think about, like, dang, do I really want this friendship?
I mean, my guy over here, Max, Platinum Max, is like,
yo,
he wants to be his friend.
He's making him uncomfortable though.
all he gotta do is scissor him, and he's good.
He's making him mad uncomfortable. But see, this is the point I was making with we were talking about earlier about how the women's match, right, for Crown Jewels, all 5 of them, and we already know what's gonna happen. With MJF, he has 3 or 4 people coming at him at the same time, and they have played to it perfectly. Like, you have multiple, you don't know how it's going to end.
Right. Everything that is going with that, that's why I said I can sit here and give my little props to AEW because that's fire. The way that they're doing this with MJF, and it feels organic. It doesn't feel played out. I
Right.
don't want to come now. Listen, I love Roman and I don't want, Roman fans coming at me, but you see how he's hijacked this title for 400 years. It's ran its course. With MJF, what's the title, not the title, the match with the diamond ring, what's it called?
Oh, the hold on, give me 1 second. Right, continue your thought. I'm gonna tell
Well,
you.
when you get it, but it just doesn't seem like it ran its course. Him holding the title, it hasn't seemed like it's ran its course. Him holding the ROH title, it doesn't seem like it's running its course. It just seems fresh, and then they're giving us different things. So yeah, with that said,
The Dynamite Diamond Ring Champion. That's what it basically is.
yeah, okay, it just seems fresh with MJF, and
This is his 5th time winning it.
that's what you need to do. That's what you need to do in regards to keep people interested. Like, don't
Right.
sit here and give Collision or Rampage these tail end matches, right? Like, or these matches don't nobody care about. Like, give us a card, and let's have more women on the card.
Tag show.